What's up, Taiwan? I'm Sanichi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A big weekend for the global chips industry. Taiwanese chip giant TSMC has opened its first Japanese fab amid an urgency to secure supplies of advanced semiconductors. Joyce Tseng reports from Kumomoto, where the chipmaker has set up shop.
JASM open desu. Dozo.
A factory opening like no other. World-leading chipmaker TSMC's first Japanese fab is now the country's most advanced facility of its kind. It's operating under the local subsidiary's name, JASM, a joint venture with minority stake partners including Sony and Denso, and subsidized by the Japanese government. TSMC founder and chips legend Morris Chang said he has high hopes for the collaboration.
Adjustment will, I believe, improve the resiliency of chip supply. I hope and I believe also start a renaissance of semiconductor manufacturing in Japan.
This is just the start. TSMC will build a second JASM fab later this year, with Toyota joining the partnership in what's become an overall investment of over $20 billion in Kumomoto. TSMC's celebration is an important early win in its uphill battle to expand outside of Taiwan, amid global urgency to secure advanced chips, the brains behind everything digital. Looking beyond its fabs in Taiwan and China, the contract chipmaker has ongoing projects in Japan's Kumomoto, the US's Arizona, and Germany's Dresden. It's pulled off this Japan fab with notable speed, opening just 2 years after breaking ground, unlike its Arizona project, still delayed despite having almost a year's head start over the Kumomoto site.
They basically avoided making a lot of the early mistakes they made in Arizona. They weren't on a leading edge node where TSMC was still trying to figure out the process in Taiwan and then trying to export it to America, where at Kumomoto you had the advantage of the technology. They understood it, they knew how it worked, they knew how to implement it.
In Kumomoto, the JASM site will start with 22, 28, 12, and 16 nanometer nodes, chips needed by automakers, an important industry for Japan. The second fab is set to offer 6 and 7 nanometer nodes, with both fabs combined expected to create over 3,400 new jobs. Local industry insiders say JASM could help revive Japan's chip sector, which last topped global charts in the 90s.
Japanese tech industry is like a flying plane without a moving engine. That means gradually the plane will going down. JASM will be the one of the key point for such kind of Japanese industry to have the way to ignite the engine again.
Getting Japanese chips back in the game now is not just in Tokyo's interest. It'd also be a boon for Washington, who's resorted to sweeping export controls amid a battle for tech supremacy with Beijing.
Both the US and Japan, regardless of who's in the government, is really going to be highly focused on working together to counter threats coming out of China and having secure supply chain. TSMC as well, given their investments in somewhat legacy technology in the US and in Japan, shows that US and Japan are willing to work with Taiwanese companies because they are the world leaders. But at the end of the day, we really want to avoid a lot of these supply chain crunches.
With TSMC now in its backyard, Japan has some of the best tools in the industry to up its game and secure its stake in the lucrative and critical semiconductor supply chain.
That was our reporter Joyce Tseng reporting from Kumomoto, Japan, along with Joseph Wu. Taiwan remains fourth in the world for economic freedom for the second year in a row, according to U.S. think tank, the Heritage Foundation. A delegation from the foundation met with President Tsai Ing-wen and Vice President Lai Ching-te in Taipei. The think tank placed Taiwan behind only Singapore, Switzerland, and Ireland in this year's Economic Freedom Index. The ranking was based on 12 economic freedoms, with Taiwan receiving high marks in judicial effectiveness, government spending, and fiscal health. A leading Taiwanese think tank says the country's service, construction, and manufacturing industries are on the upswing. The Taiwan Institute of Economic Research predicts the economy will grow by about 3.5% this year, compared with a global forecast of 2.4% growth. The institute says semiconductors, AI chips, and an improving export market are the main drivers of Taiwan's growth. The Taiwan International Orchid Show and the World Orchid Conference both kicked off in the south of Taiwan this week. The two events shed light on the important role orchids play in the country's culture and economy. Irene Lin reports.
In a first, the annual Taiwan International Orchid Show and the World Orchid Conference are taking place in the same place, Tainan County in South Taiwan. President-elect Lai Ching-te was there with representatives from 14 countries on the opening day, celebrating Taiwan's agriculture and Tainan's 400-year history. Event organizers incorporated nano spray paint and light mapping projection technologies to give the orchids a creative touch, while highlighting local culture. Past events have also put a spotlight on international issues. Organizers want to emphasize the role orchids play in the global economy. The Agriculture Ministry says the export value of Taiwanese orchids reached $195 million in 2023, placing Taiwan among the world's top orchid exporters, alongside countries like the Netherlands and Thailand.
会看到我手上这一朵小小的兰花，其实它创造了很多的这些经济的价值。台湾从屏东一直到台南到台中都有我们兰花的一个产区。
The event will run through March 10th. Its organizers hope to attract as many visitors as they can before then, all in an effort to keep Taiwan's orchids blossoming into another era. Devin Tai and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Dragon dances, fireworks, and explosions, all part of celebrating Lantern Festival in Taiwan. Harrell Hughes reports on how people are welcoming the Year of the Dragon.
Starting the year with a bang. An explosive part of Lantern Festival celebrations in southern Taiwan. Thousands stand ready with some essentials. Lantern Festival marks the first full moon of the new year and the end of the Lunar New Year holiday. In Taiwan, the Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival in Tainan is one of the most popular celebrations, attracting thousands every year to be blasted by fireworks at close range. Injuries are expected, but that doesn't stop the enthusiasm.
那我们之前体验过了，然后今天带孩子们来感受看看。因为我们要离远远的。对，是大学生，从台中来的，今年第一次来，今年会旺。
There are also safer ways to celebrate the Lantern Festival that don't involve crash helmets. The release of red sky lanterns inscribed with wishes for an auspicious year is a popular activity for both locals and visitors.
C'était donc ces lâchers de lanterne. C'est en fait pour symboliser la fin du nouvel an chinois. Et en faisant des vœux, les gens laissent s'envoler vers le ciel leurs espoirs pour le futur.
With red lanterns dotting the sky and remnants of spent fireworks dotting the ground, the Lantern Festival in Taiwan has ended, and the Year of the Dragon is officially here. Chen and Harrell Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, take a look at the cherry blossoms in Taichung. I'm Sandy Chi. Take care and see you next time.